And here's a neat, complete list, or as complete as possible, infographic. Because if you're new to Facebook advertising, it's going to take you a long while to internalize my random blurting of interests and behaviors. But if you're new, no point in memorizing. You are better off just referring to my resource over here and assuming this resource is updated from time to time. If you're short of ideas on targeting, go to this URL, and this is a word stream infographic. And this is a nice checklist to remind me that I can target by location, age, gender, relationship, languages, education. And education, we have not just education level, we have fields of study, schools, undergraduate years. For work, we have industries, which are basically auto categorizations based on machine learning. So we have all the way from administrative all the way down to veterans, job title, employers. Now, when it comes to financial, you can ignore this. This may be a US feature. It's definitely not available in this part of the world. So please ignore financial, ignore home as well, ignore office type. Ethnic affinity will not be very useful to you. We do not have generation. Now, parents and life events are incredibly useful. For parents is really targeting not just the new parents, but the very lucrative children market. We're looking at early childhood education, tutoring, anything to do with improving the kids' academic performance. If you're in that kind of business, you'll be targeting parents and the subcategories all day long. Really, because let's say you're going to be marketing music lessons, violin lessons for children, 7 years old. So you do the next best thing. You target adults. But why target adults and guess whether that adult is a parent or not when you can target parent directly? They give you specific age range. And of course, if you're wondering how does this data come out, well, it's basically parents volunteering the information on their Facebook profile. That's how they know. Just to be clear, you have parenting information that you can target. You don't have moms in our part of the world, but I like to target life events, particularly birthdays. There are two targeting options for birthday. One is in a week's time or 7 days, and that can be useful for a lot of products and services. Why? Because everybody knows when their birthday is coming. So if you're F&B, for example, or your retail, you target by interest and you stack it with birthday within a week's time. Perfect combination, isn't it? If I run a flight simulator business, which I do, by the way, flightsco.sg, isn't it? And I want to leverage birthday, how I would target is simply to target people interested in aviation, flying training, but I stack it with people's birthday in 7 days' time. And now I can extend a promotion that is your birthday special. Like come and enjoy our flight simulator at 50% off because it's your birthday. And the because it's your birthday is a fantastic promotion for all e-commerce businesses. Of course, stack it with the right interest, definitely. Everybody has a birthday at least once a year. This is a fantastic evergreen segment. It's one of those very few evergreen segments that I don't see a lot of marketers using. And if you're creative enough, this can be an evergreen campaign. Now, not only can you target upcoming birthday 7 days time, you can also target birthday month. And why birthday month? Well, simply because if you are an unknown brand, don't expect the birthday boy to force the birthday person to come into your restaurant on his actual birthday itself. Then you're fighting with his other favorite restaurants, right? Give him time. So there's also a strong argument to use the birthday month, which means if I'm doing a campaign right now in June and I'm leveraging the birthday month segment, what it simply means anybody whose birthday declared in June will see my ad. Newly engaged is a fantastic segment if you deal with newly engaged couples. Why? Because you know that they're going to embark on a customer journey that ideally leads to marriage. And therefore, Any business who's in the business of targeting marriages and wedding couples would definitely want to leverage this ability to target them at the early stage, at the mid stage, at the late stage, and that's why they give you newly engaged 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. If your business targets the post marriage segment, well, there's something for you as well, because there's also the newlywed 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. What kind of industries are you looking at potentially for newly engaged? Well, think interior design, think property. So the newly engaged is a very important milestone because it's when people get together, and of course it also depends on the age range. So if you're targeting the 25 to 30 newly engaged, very likely first time home buyer as a proxy. So again, pay attention to parents, live events. There's so much you can do within these segments. And then of course you have the industries, and they fall under interest. Now interest is really broad categorization, questionable how precise or accurate it is. So you have business and industry, which we already mentioned earlier. Of particular interest within this segment is a specific segment that is SBO, small business owner. If not, then you have all these higher level categories and subcategories you can target. But again, these are all broad interest because they are broad by definition. Yoga is broad, weight training is broad, dieting is broad, and you can go much deeper, as I mentioned, via precise interests. And the approach for that, I will share with you as we get in later on. Then you have behaviors, as mentioned to you. Unfortunately, a lot of these behaviors are now no longer available to you. Automotive, charitable donations, business to business, US audience only. You do have the ability to target digital activities. And of particular interest here would be business page admins, which is a very good proxy for targeting people who are running business, or at least the admins of people who are running business. And you have small business owners here again as digital activity. So as mentioned, mobile device user, this is available to us. Travel is also available to us. And we don't have all of purchase behavior that's listed here, but we do have engaged shopper specifically. And engaged shopper refer to people who click shop now button in Facebook within the last 2 weeks. It doesn't mean they purchased anything, but well, these people were certainly engaged, and that's the reason why it's called engaged shopper. Now don't forget connections as well. And at some point in time, you want to decide whether to invest in growing your Facebook page. And one of the reasons why you may want to do that is because a Facebook page allows you to create connections, and you are able to target people who like your page. Not only that, but you're also able to target their friends. So you have the ability to target friends of people who like your page. Or if you want, you can also exclude people who like your page. And again, that's the reason why this infographic is so handy dandy. The other ways to target connections are for mobile app developers. And the third one are basically those who create events within Facebook itself. Finally, remarketing. Remarketing is actually very, very crucial. And here's some of the remarketing activities that you can pursue. Like, for example, people who visited your website. And of course, this is triggered to the use of the Facebook pixel. We need to re-explore this in light of privacy enhancements. But as mentioned earlier, the ability to upload emails and phone number remains unchanged, or if you have access to custom lists of Facebook user IDs.